Hey everybody, welcome to 3800 Daily again, and today we are going to be finally putting a little bit more back onto this block. So today we are going to check our valve seals, change our valves, and change our springs. Checking your valve seals is very important when rebuilding your engine. It's a quick and simple process. There's two ways to do it that are really quick and easy. One checks for minor leaks and the other checks for major valve leaks. All you need is water and an air hose. And after we're done checking our head valves, I'm gonna show you how to reseat your valves without machining. Yeah, new valves without machining. So stick around and let's get into it. All right, so here we have our head. It is suspended on two containers, so that way it is level and up off of the bench. These right here are our valves. The smaller ones are your exhaust ports, and your bigger ones are your intake ports. Now these are a little bit dirty. The exhaust ones are a little bit corroded. The intake ones are a little bit rough. They have a little bit of carbon on them, but not as bad as what it could have been if we weren't running E85. We also want to check all the way around the very top of our heads where our cylinder meets and rub your finger around there. See if it is smooth. Make sure these edges are smooth, especially if you decide that you want to run nitrous in the future. Having a little nick in this edge can basically weld a hole and blow out your head. You also want to get a straight edge. Lay a straight edge across, put some light on the other side, and see if you can see significant gaps between your cylinder walls and your straight edge. But today, we're just checking leaks on our valves. First, grab you some water and fill them up. All right, the first way to tell if you have any major valve leaks is checking to see if water is coming out of your exhaust ports or your intake ports. And obviously, we are clean here. So obviously we have a really good seat, even just using our 90-pound springs. So let's add some air into our exhaust ports and see if we have any leaks. I'm gonna wrap the tip in a cloth, kind of like that, and stick it in the exhaust port. See if any bubbles come up. No bubbles. Oh boy, we've got bubbles. That's the leaky valve. Very few bubbles. Let's check our intake now. Looking good so far. Looking good. So we have two leaky exhaust valves and all of our intake valves are good. Let's throw the other head on here, take a look. All right, let's check head number 2. All right, we got all of our water on all of our valves now. Let's apply some air to our exhaust side first. We have a leaky valve. We have another small leak here. That one seems to be fine. Let's check our intake. Looks good. We have some minor leaking. All right, so we have leaking on these two exhaust valves and this intake valve. Why is it important to make sure that you don't have any leaks in your valves? Well, that's one major component to bad compression. Let's also not forget that when you two-step or have a crackle tune, that is also a reason why your valves could be leaking. The way that a crackle tune works is allowing fuel to ignite while the exhaust valve is open. And when you burn fuel, over time you get carbon deposits. And where do those carbon deposits build up when your exhaust valve is open? On your valve seats, which can lead to poor compression and a terrible running engine. So now that we've identified that our valves need to be reset, I'm going to show you how to do that without machining. We're gonna use our old valves to make new seats and then put our new valves in with our new springs and run this check again. All right, so I know that I said that I was going to give away my 1.9 rockers. Unfortunately, as you can tell, this rocker bolt stripped. I did everything in my power to get this rocker bolt out. I used an extractor. The extractor broke in it. I cut a line into it. Hopefully I could fit a flathead in there. That didn't work. I used pliers. And unfortunately, eventually, I had to add some heat. Then dunk water on it, which resulted in, and unfortunately, fortunately enough, it loosened it to where I can get it off. But unfortunately enough, it destroyed the bearing inside of the rocker. And I don't want to send y'all bad parts. However, my 90-pound springs are still good, so I can send those out. You'll just need to get your own LS style retainers. All right, we got this rocker off. Unfortunately, during the heating process, I melted that. the aluminum melted to the rocker itself. Inside of here, you can see right in here, there's some aluminum in there. These might be savable. I'll take this bearing out and see what it looks like, and if it still looks good, I'll still give it to you. I'm worried about giving you a rocker that's gonna fail. Springs are up for grabs though. Let's take those off. All right, we got all of our springs off of our valves, our retainers, our little cup here. I did do a video on removing springs. If you want to check that video out, you can watch it right here. This is basically, I mean, the valves are coming out right here. This is how you get your valves out. Let's get to how we're going to seat them. Now, it's always typically a good idea to reseat your valves every time you take your heads off. It's a way to keep up great compression, keep your engine healthy, keep that power that you want so badly. So we're gonna take out this exhaust valve and take a look at that. Look how rough that seat looks. It should be machine metal smooth. Our intake valves don't look as bad, but still, there are some spots that could use a little work. Let's take a look at this one. Yep, you can definitely feel some uneven surfaces with your finger. So let's get to seating already. I've got this stuff right here. You can get it from AutoZone. It's called valve grinding compound. It's kind of like a compound paste with a little bit of fine grit sandpaper in there, and it's going to completely smooth everything out. So remove your valve and apply a little bit on your valve, just like so, and then sit that sucker back in there. So it's currently on this valve right now, and you're gonna grab you a drill. Because I'm not reusing these valves, I'm just going to attach the drill to the valve stem itself. I don't recommend you doing this. And basically what we're gonna do is spin it and pull up, down, 20 times. Don't do it very fast though. Like, don't spin it very fast. Then once you've done it 20 times, reverse it, do it 20 times the other way. Y'all ready to see our results? All right, moment of truth. Does this stuff really work? Well, it looks like it definitely made a more even seating surface all the way around. It definitely made this seat here a lot smoother than the others. You can kind of see here where some of the carbon deposits kind of enter onto the seat. But here, it's good all the way around. I'm gonna keep doing this for a little bit longer until it's a little bit more flush of a seal, and then do the rest. All right, so we got this all cleaned up. Got all of the remaining gasket off of both sides. Did a little bit of sanding on the head. Everything is nice and smooth. I like it. Kind of cleaned out in here a little bit with my little wire wheel. And now it is time to put in new valves. All right, here what we have are some of ZZP's stainless steel valves. These are the 1.8 inch. These are your stock bore valves. This one is of course an intake valve. And here we have some of ZZP's stainless steel valves for the exhaust, 1.52 inch. These are also stock size valves. All right, so now we have our new stainless steel, very pretty valves installed. Make sure they all fit and seat properly. Now having our new valves installed, you know what that means? That's right, we're gonna install our springs and retainers. So here I have a set of Comp Cam 136 pound springs. And in case you were wondering the difference between 90 pounds and 136, oh yeah, they're definitely a little taller in height, and the spring themselves is just a tad bit thicker. All right, we got all of our 136 pound valve springs on. I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, but I'll put a picture right here. My valve spring compressor slipped off and the spring threatened my life. So that was fun. We're gonna flip this over and do another valve leak test and see if our grinding of our valve seats did us any good with our new valves. All right, so far so good. We do not have any water coming out of our exhaust ports or our intake ports. Let's apply a little bit of air. That one looks good. Very good. Awesome. No leaks on our exhaust side anymore. Let's check out our intake side. No leaks. No leaks. No leaks. This is awesome. I'm so glad that we could find a way to reseat our valves without getting them machined. I would recommend y'all do it this way. Super cheap, super easy. It's like $6 a tube and you only need one tube. I got 2 tubes just in case. Nice to have extras laying around. I'm gonna go and set this one aside, bring my other head over here, get that one cleaned up, new springs installed. I'm gonna do a leak down test on that one as well, and we'll see what that one looks like. Are they sat any better? Let's find out. Let's start with this side with the exhaust again. Oh, we got some leaking. Wow, that one's bad. Holy smokes. Yep. All of our exhaust valves are leaking. Let's see what our intake has to say about it. That one seems good. That one seems good as well. Looks like all of our intake valves are properly seated and do not leak. I'm gonna get to pulling these valves, reseating them, and cleaning this head up a little bit, all the mating surfaces. Not gonna make y'all watch that again. So I'm gonna get to it, be right back. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our water and do our leak down test. All right, here we go, starting on the exhaust side again. Looks pretty good to me so far. Looks good. We have a little bit of bubbling on this valve. All right, intake. Looks good. So everything looks good except for this exhaust valve. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take it off and try again. Try to reseat this one again, but I'll get that fixed up in no time. All right, so I ground this one, the seating on this one again, so we're gonna go ahead and check it once more. Looks good to me. We got a good seal. Well, there it is, the proper install of valves without having to machine anything. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I have my old set of 90-pound valve springs. The entire set right here, I'm gonna clean them up and give them away to you guys because I don't need them anymore. I hope these will be able to help one of y'all along your journey of performance and install and learning new things. And if you want to enter to win those, all you have to do is like, be subscribed, comment, whether you've already installed it or you have plans to install it. I want to know. That's what you got to do to enter to win these springs. So again, thanks for watching. And until next time, drive easy.